Hello and welcome back to the State of Speed podcast on the Team JDG YouTube channel. I am Justice, and for the first time in a while, all of our regular hosts are here. I am joined by our teammates here, Cursive, Terramaster, and Drake, our moderator. We actually have a fair bit to cover for today, so we're pretty excited to get into it. So I'm going to throw it right over to Drake to get us going.
Yep. Welcome back, everyone. This is indeed the first time in 6 months that we've had all four of us on here. So I wore the hat.
We did it.
The hat from the last time that all four of us were here.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a few things to talk about today. We've got Duelist of the Shadow reveals and leaks potentially. And then of course we have a lot of our normal stuff. So let's start off. Let's get into the news. The most exciting thing about the podcast is the news of Speed Duel. And that's, what did we learn about the Duelists of Shadows set? Well, we learned a few things. We got some confirmed secrets. We know that we are getting a secret rare Allure and DD Crow. Super Polymerization, which could be big.
Mm-hmm.
Shiny Flare Wingman, okay. And Macrocosmos, which could also be big. So I think these are great. I think these are going to help sell the product and potentially shake up the meta. But why don't you start us off, Cursive? What are your thoughts about this?
For the confirmed cards, honestly, besides Shining Flare, which maybe you can get people with some nostalgia, they all have application to advanced format, which is actually something that's really good to see, because if you can't sell to advanced format, you probably can't sell the product anyway.
Mm.
As for speed duels, reprints, I don't really care, but sure. And Super Poly's cool. It can't really do too much at the moment. And macro's sick, kinda. Format wise, I'm not quite sure, but it's definitely a good card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the choices for a lot of reasons that you said. I think Shining Flare is a card that, we felt we should have had in midterm box, and we didn't. So at least we're getting it now. And yeah, I think a secret print of it at least is going to look cool. And as I said, it's some nostalgia bait for some people. And yeah, the other cards are like legitimately like decent choices. I don't think any of them are like, oh my god, insane that we're getting, but like,
yeah.
I don't think they're bad choices. I think they're better choices than a lot of the ones that we saw in, say, midterms, for example. So I was pretty pleased with the news overall.
Yeah, I think it's really important that they can apply to like formats outside of speed duels, because just speed duel format cards don't sell the boxes, right?
No, we're not at that point yet. As much as I want to say that I wish we would be, we're not. So accepting the reality of that, having Allure, having DD Crow, having Macrocosmos, cards that are useful in advanced for like Macrocosmos, and then cards that are useful in like Edison format for DD Crow and Macrocosmos and Allure of Darkness especially, are actually a very positive thing as far as box sales go.
Yeah.
Especially because I think for some of these cards, they might be the first time they're printed in secret rare, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, me and you were talking earlier about how one of Matt's big issues with making the booster boxes was that he felt that speed duels could stand on its own, but it really can. If your cards don't appeal, then they're not doing anything. We're not just buying them because people play speed duels. That's usually not the reason.
No. Yeah, when speed duel events start getting 100+ people attending, then you can call me with that kind of an idea. But right now, we're not nowhere near that. So you need to appeal to a broader audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you pre-order and or purchase your Duelists of Shadows boxes so this game survives. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yes, that is actually true. I think everyone here already has or plans to definitely buy at least 3 boxes.
Yeah.
So please, if you can, and if you want to play it at all, please support Speed Duels by doing that.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else about these 5 cards that's relevant mentioning?
I think
Super Poly is actually probably the most relevant card to advanced format. There's decks that play multiple copies of that card. And like Tara said, some retro formats like Edison play DD Crow, Allure of Darkness. Um, yeah, I don't think we learned a whole lot about the box from a speed duel standpoint.
No.
Like I said, Super Poly is very cool, but without us getting additional targets, which may be in the box, it's not the greatest. We don't have great targets for it right now. Allure and DD Crow are reprints. Cool, you can bling out your deck, but that doesn't change the format. And Shining Flare Wingman, probably irrelevant.
Never laid
Yeah.
the never on the Shining Flare Wingman, and what was it? The Super Poly makes me wonder how many, if any, maybe at least one, because we got Nova Master last year, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like at least one more generic E-Hero fusion, and which one they pick is going to matter a lot as to how playable Super Poly is.
Scare it out.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the most logical one for
Probably.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hey, it might be good enough. Who knows?
And then before we move on to what else we learned from the speed duel reveals for Duelists of Shadow, there were some pictures taken at the recent YCS of some
Nani?
uncut sheets of secret rare speed duel cards. So this isn't 100% confirmed, but we do believe that these are in fact going to be some of the secrets. So there's 24 secrets. We know about 18 of them now, and some of those are cool. So we got Amazon is Queen potentially being a secret in the set, as well as Amazon is Swordswoman, Aqua Chorus, Arm Dragon level 10, the alternate art Cyber Dragon, which I hope that's real because I've been asking for that for a while.
Yes.
Ill Blood, again, that would be very cool. Legendary Jujutsu Master, which it's a cool card for retro formats. It could be cool in Speed Duel. I think it will certainly see play because it is a great Azana out. I do find that card a bit annoying to play against, though.
Yeah.
But whatever. Skull Archfiend of Lightning, decent card. And Vampire Genesis and Vampire Hunter, both of which I'm not excited about. But, you know, with a skill, you could always see Vampire Genesis being good.
I'll tell you why I am excited about Vampire Hunter. Because it is now 2 boxes, you know, that Terra Master and I have correctly predicted Konami clownery.
Yeah.
Because we included Vampire Hunter in our worst case of, oh, that's Vampire in its name. Yeah, it's not broken. Sure, throw it in. And we were right. So we're
Yes,
on
even
a
though
roll here.
it has nothing to do with other vampire cards. Like it hasn't like negative synergy. In fact, but they're just
has
reading
vampires,
card
so-
games, obviously. Yeah.
So we predicted
Yeah.
clowns, we predicted Vampire Hunter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, this is great.
I mean, you could sideboard Vampire Hunter in theory if a dark deck is very good.
No, stop. Stop.
I mean, look, Core Destroyer was at one point a legitimate side deck card, so it's not impossible.
We are beyond that.
I think this is a 17 beater.
You think so? You think we're beyond that? Did you not see our last few formats?
All right, fair enough. I stand corrected.
Terra Master living in the
Have a big
future where
boss
speed duels
that's a dark monster?
is faster. What?
I'm saying even if they just summon a big boss that's a dark monster that
Sure.
doesn't have destruction protection,
Dark Arm Dragon?
this is a fine out.
Yeah.
Because you're left with, sure, you could fissure it if we had that. However, if we either don't get that, you could summon the Vampire Hunter, and now it's like you did fissure it, but you also are left with a little beater.
Yeah.
It's not the worst.
Yeah, there's a world where, you know, it may be usable.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate the positivity. Sure, I'll take it.
But yeah, hopefully Vampire Genesis can get something that can get it out, make it usable, and hopefully it doesn't get the Doomfire treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Would be nice if some cards got the perfect ultimate great moth treatment and got the Doomfire treatment. Yeah. We also don't want everything to end up on limited 3 like DD Warrior Lady, or completely mostly unplayable like King of the Skull Serpents. There it is. I got them all.
Nice.
We did it.
There you go.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like overall, I will say this list is not super exciting. Just to run through real quick, like Amazon as Queen is fine. Swordswoman Secret Rare print, cool. That's fine. Aqua Chorus is a terrible card. I have no idea why we're getting it in the first place, let alone as a secret rare. That's really disappointing. Arm Dragon level 10 as a secret rare is like fine. The card is not very good, but the art is cool. It's thematic, for Chaz in the GX era. It's a big, technically boss monster, even though it's bad. So like, I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. The Cyber Dragon alt art, I'm actually really pumped about because I really like that alternate art. And it is, the shadow box, and while, Zane isn't technically part of that, it's like the evil Zane version thing. So like, that's really cool. And it's sweet art. So I'm actually, I really like that one. Flare Wingman we talked about. Illblood I think is actually okay. Like it's a card that was played in like, some older formats and like some people really do like it. So I'm fine with that one. Jujutsu Master, I agree with Drake. Cool enough card, saw some play, but also a little scary for like stall stuff, so not sure about that. Skull Archfiend of Lightning is cool. That one I actually really like to see, and as a secret rare, that should look really nice.
Yes.
So I actually like that one a lot. Genesis is not a shock at all, to be honest. I think we all saw that one coming. Vampire Hunter, just being in the box is hilarious, but being a secret rare is funny in a bad way. That seems like a huge waste of a secret rare slot.
Yeah.
But Konami's just shown us that that's what they're going to do. They're going to print some real questionable secrets. So this helps fill that quota, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that's some of the issue. Like when you said like Jujutsu Master, for example, I think it's really cool that we know what's in the box. I don't think it's really cool that we know it's a secret rare.
Right.
I feel like something else could have filled that slot a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate though Konami constantly proving our point on the fact that they're really bad at marketing Speed Duel.
Thanks for proving us right.
Constantly say, "Hey, Team JDG, you guys are right, man. You know what
You guys are right.
You guys are amazing. You guys are so smart.
You really know what you're talking about."
Yeah. I do want to quickly run through a few of the more notable cards from that list and give my thoughts. So Amazon's Queen. It is really nice to know that there is a good boss monster for Amazoness. Just like guaranteed without knowing anything else, Queen is not bad. Like
right.
Cannot be destroyed with battle. Already the pure Cyber Angel deck, the way they run now, needs to draw like exactly share the pain to out Amazoness Queen. Right? So it's already like a solid boss monster just by itself. And there have to be, you would think, there has to be more like halfway decent Amazoness cards at least.
We'll see.
Yeah. Illblood, same thing. Halfway decent zombie monster, right? If you can actually get it out with Haunted Shrine or Book of Life, just going off what we already have, instantly Gemini summon it, and then it's once per turn summon a zombie until your opponent outs it. So actually has some aggro potential, which for speed duels is like, what? No way. That's really cool. So I'm always happy to see aggro in speed duels.
Will only be used to summon Zombina to stall more.
Well, yes, but let's not at least here go.
Pretend this isn't a speed duel community and it's a fun community.
Yeah, there you go. Jujutsu Master, it's like they've been saying. I'm afraid of it being used in Ratbox and Zombina, bringing it back for some kind of a silly. I'm gonna constantly lock the top of the top part of your deck loop with Zombina. So, please don't use it for that.
Just don't.
Please don't.
Yeah. Skull Archfiend of Lightning is, like Justice said, it's cool. It's gonna look cool. 50%, I believe that one is to negate targeting effects. So like that's like actually could happen.
Yeah.
50% is the type of territory where like, hey, you could negate a book of food. It's actually not bad. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, we already talked about everything else. Yeah.
Not bad, just like Blowback Dragon.
Blowback has always been very good.
Yeah, Skull Archfiend at least is on a little bit of a more respectable sized card. 25 being above your general monarch versus 23. But yeah, so that's all the secret info we got. We also got some skill names, so and some deck archetypes, I guess you would call them.
Right. Yeah.
So we know that Adrian is playing Cloudians, not Exodia.
Whoa.
I suppose. And
Crazy.
Night Shroud is playing Red Eyes, not just dragons. That's
Yes.
also pretty cool because a lot of people really like Red Eyes. We already have some Red Eyes support in the game. It's going to be really cool to
Make
get more.
spirit good.
Yeah,
Please make Red
exactly.
Eyes good.
Make spirit
Thank you.
good. Give us some more cards that have Red Eyes in the name. Some more ways
Truly.
to maybe cheat out Red Eyes or buff him. Yeah, so that looks pretty cool. And then we also got some of the skill names. One of them was Camula's, which I believe to be Vampire Kingdom, the field spell, because of the name is like Vampire Aristocracy or something.
Yeah, aristocracy, which like which makes sense because that refers to, like royalty. It's the ruling, class. So like kingdom, royalty, aristocracy. Like it makes sense. I could see it.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a really good. That's a really good field spell. So always having access to it at the start of the game, not bad.
I will say this. What I don't know if I want to say concerns me, but just something that I think about is a lot of times when we see cards, like existing cards made into skills, they make them worse than the original card.
That's how it's been with most of the field spells.
Yeah, so like, well, we see it with the field spells. We see it with, say, like Call the Haunted, right? As a skill, it just hurts you. So like we've seen a lot when they just make a card into a skill, they make it worse. So I'm always a little bit hesitant to reserve judgment, I think is maybe the way to put it. When we're talking about a card becoming a skill, because it's that card, but also no, it isn't.
Right, because they could omit something on it that made it good, or they could add a restriction to it.
Yeah. So we'll see. So the idea of Vampire Kingdom being a skill, cool. What's it actually going to be? We'll have to wait and see.
Judgment Gaming, reserving judgment.
Well
played, sir. Well played.
Well, you were waiting on that one, huh?
I was trying not to brush
so I'm like holding that one in.
Yes,
I will have my moment.
I will.
The same kind of deal though too with the Nitrout skill that we saw, because it looked like it looked like Darkness Metal, right? I don't think we're just getting straight up like Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon as a skill, just exactly as it was, right? That would actually be kind of insane. So we'll have to see, what happens with that. So yeah, it's just weird when they make cards into skills.
Yeah, it is.
It'll probably have some ridiculous cost, like once per duel, set your nearest giant card on fire, then you can draw one dragon from your deck or something. Yeah.
Not worth it unless I'm not at my house. If I'm at one of your guys' houses,
and it's fine.
You were local, so like, hey, I need giant cards.
So how hyped are you guys with all the info we have now for this next set? More hyped, less hyped?
I'm so torn at the moment, because on the one hand, things like knowing, so like obviously I'm biased here because of course anything dragon related I'm down, and Red Eyes is very, very cool. So like knowing that Nitrout has a Red Eyes deck and not just some generic dragon deck is actually really exciting to me, and that gives me more hope that we will actually be getting some good Red Eyes cards.
I feel like prior to what we've seen literally today, I was at like a solid like 50%. I feel like I could have went like either way. Like I was feeling pretty good. And then after seeing like a lot of these secrets, I feel like I might be at like a 30.
Yeah, so like that was actually where I was going, was that if these leaks today that we saw are real, which it looks like they are, I'm still excited for the box. I am still maintaining optimism until proven otherwise, because I have to. Because if I can't be at all excited for this, then why am I even here, right? So like I'm still maintaining some level of optimism because I want it to be good, and I'm hoping it will be. I'm hoping they learn some lessons, from midterm box. We're like, wow, that product sucked. Let's do better. But yeah, some of those secret choices definitely made me feel a little less hyped.
Yeah,
like Aqua Core, a secret rare. Like, oh boy, okay, cool. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, but like also to be fair, like the secret rares really don't dictate what's going to be good. I mean, look at Unions from Battle City Box, right? Look at Cyber Angels. They have no secrets.
which was just a
No.
travesty, by the way. How did you not make Izana or Machine Angel Ritual one or the other the secret rare? Like that's
Benson, the card
absurd.
played most in advanced.
Yeah,
Benson.
literally.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
absurd.
But
No,
so
but you're right.
there's-
You're right. Just because some of the secrets are bad doesn't mean the box is going to be bad. So like that's what I'm saying. I am still maintaining optimism. I like the fact that we've confirmed that Kagemaru has a Sacred Beast deck. You know, it's not just those 3 cards. So like hopefully we'll see some cool support for that because that would be really neat.
Yes.
So like there are things that still give me hope that this box will be something like that we can be excited about once we know the full contents of. So I'm still excited for now. I will admit some of those secret rare choices made me sad, but I am excited for the box as a whole.
I will say, just think about like Supreme King, other than Super Poly, which we knew like last week. There's nothing new that even if these leaks are real, we learned for the Supreme King's deck. Like absolutely nothing.
Right.
Right. So that to further your optimism of like the secrets aren't necessarily good. Like they didn't just go ahead and slap Evil Hero Malicious Edge as a super or secret to be like, okay, that's kind of the best you're gonna get. So there's no way to know. Like we just talked about Izana. We had Crystal Conclave, which was not secret. We had Oja Match, which is literally the only reason Ojama is even anything playable.
Yeah.
Was only common. So I think most good cards GX era have been common only. So I don't think there's a reason to worry.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we definitely can't come to
Worry.
any real conclusions from this point.
Other than
Wall
that,
of
Konami
Disruption.
is still going to make some really questionable decisions on their secret rares.
Yeah.
I think from a gameplay standpoint, we don't know that much because
We really don't.
right, we know about 25, 30 cards roughly that are going to be in this set of 200 cards.
Yeah.
That's barely anything at all.
Yeah.
And we do see they put an answer to Azana in it. Okay, that's nice. Oh, hey, Amazonis has at least a boss. Hey, here's at least a decent Archfiend. Okay, these are nice things. For playing. The only thing that disappoints me about these potential reveals is that they started off so strong with those
So
first
strong.
4 of those first 5. At least.
Yeah.
They started off so strong with the Macrocosmos, Super Polymerization, DD Crow, and then Allure as well.
Yeah.
What went through my mind when I saw that was like, okay, if a bunch of the other cards are like this set is going to sell like crazy, which is good for the future of Speed Duel because more sales means more sets, but also it does mean more players too. A lot of people are going to buy this set because they want the secret Super Poly or whatever. So they're going to buy it. A lot of those people aren't going to play Speed Duel, but some will. So when a set sells really well, the Speed Duel community does grow, even if even if it's by a little or a lot, it does grow.
Right.
We saw that directly with Battle City Box. It sold like crazy, and then the community grew because of it. So yeah, I was super excited about that first 5 reveals because 4 of them were great picks, and now we got like another 10 or so reveals, and it's like, well, there's not really any great picks in here. There's some decent ones for sure. The Cyber Dragon's cool. I think people will want that. The Jujutsu Master, some people will want that, and so on and so on. There's some decent ones, but there's nothing like Super Poly, Macrocosmos, DD Crow, and that's what I was worried about. Was that they just those first 4, they were like, here's all the good ones. There's 6 left. If all of these are correct, there's only 6 left. But those 6 could be the other 6 big names, the other 6 big hits, and if they are, there's still room for hope. There's still room for this to be a great selling set.
There is something to consider
GX
here.
Had a handful of good secrets. It had like Book of Moon, Cyber Dragon,
Warrior Lady,
the
Koichi Danzalug.
Yeah.
Even Volcanic Rocket to an extent, people will like that one as well. But you don't need... Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think out of everything that we've seen from like today's leaks, I think the only thing that I see as like a real like selling point for people outside of speed duels and really getting new people in is probably just the alt art Sidra, right?
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah.
Arm Dragon level 10 because like some people think that's cool,
I don't think
but
so.
Changes immediately.
but like it's really just Sidra and like obviously the 4 big ones that Drake already mentioned. Besides that, like none of these are like secret selling points for the set, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I will say that what I was going to say before is that something to consider why the first ones that we saw were some of the best is because they are the ones that are literally on the box to try to sell it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that like those were the more exciting ones because those are the ones that are literally right there. Be like, hey, you can get these.
Yeah.
You guys want to
makes
inhale
sense.
more hopium? I've got you.
Sure.
So Illblood being in the box tells me that they're not going purely vampire for Cambula's deck, and we could get generic zombie support. That's not just Illblood, so good sign. You want Skull Archfiend of Lightning. That's not a Chess Archfiend, so they're not going purely chess,
Right.
which is a good sign. Jujitsu Master is a rock. Now Drake, we know this. Evil heroes? What evil hero needs a rock? That's Dark Gaia, and Dark Gaia is a pretty good evil hero when you have
about that until you just said it.
yeah, it's a rock.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some raising your hand.
I have to raise my hand because there's just been another post in the Speed Duel League Discord server. We have Red Eyes Darkness Dragon revealed. We have Evil Hero Malicious Fiend and Helios the target for macro. So that's 3 more out of how many was left?
There was 6 left.
So now there's 3 left.
Okay.
And
as you can tell, we're all really excited about this news.
So I think Helios is actually pretty cool for Speed Duel because now when you activate your Macrocosmos, you have something to tribute fodder for like a Monarch or whatever. That's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
Agreed.
Helios isn't gonna get advanced players excited. Neither is Malicious Fiend or what was the third one you said?
Red Eyes Darkness Dragon.
Red Eyes Darkness.
Red Eyes Darkness Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of those 3 are going to get advanced format or retro format players excited.
If it was Malicious Bane, you would have me.
There you go. I think the Malicious Fiend is kind of cool for Speed Duel as well.
Yeah. Malicious Fiend's alright.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
That's a crazy breaking update in the middle of a podcast.
Nice.
if we go long enough, we might get another one. Who knows?
We might.
Find out the other 3. We'll let
we might get the
Yeah.
other 3.
know.
Yeah. So
All right.
Alright, so I think that's enough there. We can move on to our next topic here.
Yeah.
All right. Our next topic is going to be the state of the meta, a classic, a staple.
Oh, hey, can I take this?
the state of speed.
The state of speed.
Justice wants to be the lead on this. Go for it.
Yeah, you play Cyber Angels or you play Beatdown. Cool. What's our next topic?
All right. It's a little more nuanced than that. Okay.
It is slightly more. All right. So look,
Sleeping on my crystal beasts.
we've said it before, and I think we're all still in it. That's so weird. Please stop that. I think we're all still in agreement that Cyber Angels is the best deck in the format. Yes.
I don't know. I think it's like Rogue at best.
Yeah, it didn't even win the last winner box. Terrible. No, so I do still think Cyber Angels is the best deck in the format. It's as we've talked about before. The only reason we don't see more of it is just lack of people willing to put in the time to learn it and be good with it.
Mhm.
And the people that aren't playing it. Like in our even the last winner box, like Ursus wasn't playing it. Terramaster wasn't playing in the winner box. Like most of the Cyber Angel players are actually on this team or honorarily on this team in the case of Ursus, and none of us are playing it. So yeah, it's going to be hard for it to top when no one's playing it, or the only people that are playing it are not playing it well. But I think it is still overall the best deck in the format. I will say from this last winner box thing that came out, and it's now I think the second event that it's done well in, so we have to respect Odeon. Trap Monsters. It is apparently a legitimate deck. It looks weird when you just look at it. It doesn't like stand out. I think in any way you don't look at it and be like, oh wow, look at that really cool thing it does. Yeah. But it does. It just grinds out resources, right? It just outvalues the opponent over the long game, and that has value. So Trap Monsters is a legitimate deck, and Beatdown still exists and is still a top deck, more or less. There, I gave you
Yep.
slightly more nuance. You can take it from that. Wasn't all of it, but there's your slightly more
Okay.
nuance. You can
All right,
go
I'm
from.
gonna do the more in-depth version of CA and beatdown. Yeah, so we all agree CA is the best deck. That's the deck to beat. That's the deck you should probably be taking if you want your best odds of winning an event.
Mhm.
Learn how to play.
Beatdown,
Yeah,
beatdown
learn to
is
play.
still there. I said it was just going to adapt, and that's what it did. It didn't even adapt that. It didn't even need to do that much. I was already playing 2 Cyber Dragon, so it's like, okay, we're going to play 1 book or no books sometimes.
Yeah.
Big deal. Book's not even good against Cyber Angels, so who cares? Odeon, I actually have a prediction that this deck is better than Beatdown. I actually have a prediction that this is the
Me too.
second best deck. It has the ability to main 3 Banishers, just like Beatdown, but it can also main 3 DD Warrior Ladies because it's not on Cyber Dragon. It has the ability to play the Zoma, just like Beatdown. So what is Beatdown bringing to the table that would make it better? Honestly, nothing.
The
Negate
quick
one
kills.
trap.
The quick kills. Let me answer the question. The quick kills that Beatdown can do, right? When you go Cyber Dragon offerings plus Gaia, right? That's
Yeah.
it's quick kill. So that's what Odeon might be missing is the ability to just like OTK. But that's the only thing I can make of. Oh yeah,
No,
and
that's
what
a
Curse
fair
of Sin.
point. That's a fair
Yeah.
point. There is one advantage to Beatdown. It can kill quicker. Using Cyber Dragon usually to do that. Because yeah, if you can just put 4,000 on board and then play in offerings, that can just be game with your Joey skill. That's fair.
Yeah, but with that in mention too, you're also saying that you're going to use offerings in CA format. So
Yes.
Yeah, I mean they are though. Like
yeah, you're
most of the
absolutely
beatdown
right.
lists that we've seen have been on offerings. So
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
normally on 2 to 3.
Yeah.
A lot of times 3.
I mean, if
But I
you get your
mean,
Banisher out, it's really good.
no,
Yeah,
100%. And
well,
then the other thing too, and I've mentioned this like in Speed Duel League, is that you can't even play like a list that is actually for the format and the meta because you're not going to see the meta going into, Winnabox and Toxic Judgment, and especially not the weeklies or the Speed Duel
Oh,
Showdown.
sure.
So
Sure. I mean, those are for fun. There's like a gentleman's agreement on the weeklies that you just like play a fun deck.
not when
There's
Drake
no
plays.
agreement of any sort in Winnabox. In Winnabox, you're supposed to take what you think is going to win, but
and
most people
yet,
are just taking fun decks anyway.
yeah,
Or not playing.
we're not playing.
But yeah, I actually think Odeon is probably the second best deck because it has better tools to beat the best deck.
It's
Yeah.
beatdown that
And it should
sometimes
be,
plus is won by drawing a card. So
yeah,
that's yeah.
yeah, and it should often beat the beatdown matchup as well.
Exactly.
From what
Because
we've
it draws
seen, at
cards.
least, it's outvaluing them. Yeah,
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
trading card for card, but every time you activate a trap monster, you're getting 1 additional card.
Yeah.
You're gonna win that.
Yeah.
So, and then other decks that are respectable.
Sorry, we're all just
Come
watching
on.
your cat right now.
No,
Dangerous.
rescue cat. Attack that moth.
Rescue cat.
You've got Ojamas, as some of us like to say, worse Cyber Angels.
Yeah.
You have Twisted Personality. It really did feel a hit from that limited list. The fact that it can't just jam in 3D Warrior Ladies and 3 Floodgates. It's not at the power level it was.
and 2 Nightmare Wheels and 1 Zoma.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. And it lost Nightmare Wheels. If it wants to still play the Zoma, it lost both Nightmare Wheels.
Yep.
So this is scaring me. That's okay. But
Oh,
you
Cat
got-
ruins $1,000 card.
yeah, Crystal Beasts, and then if you want to go even further into like roguish stuff, there's all right, she got bored.
yeah.
Relinquished and unions are playable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about all I have to say about those decks, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playable. They are a deck that can be played.
Curse of, I think mentioned it earlier. Did we say Crystal Beast? Sorry, I'm blanking. If we
Yes.
Yeah. He said Crystal Beast right before the other.
did.
And
I was
think
definitely
Crystal
focused on the cat. It just my brain is
Very understandable.
Yeah.
But no, I think Crystal Beast suffers from a similar kind of thing as CA, where not a lot of people that pilot the deck, if any, actually know how to pilot the deck. So I think it has potential to perform. Obviously, not as well as the above decks mentioned, but it just doesn't get the opportunity. And then sometimes I lose to unions in Winnabox. So
And then this thing that just happens to Crystal Beast where you lose to Union specifically in
Yeah,
Winnabox.
just
It's a downside
don't
of that.
try your CB traps and you don't win. That's how it works.
Yep. I think I don't really have much else to add on
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah,
to
I
the
mean,
meta, except like
the meta hasn't drastically changed from the previous list, except that CAs went from like tier 2 to tier 1. TP went from tier 1 to like bottom of tier 2 or tier 3 even.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Other than those two kind of switching and Odeon sort of revealing itself, that's about it. So
Look, I think-
I actually think it's a little bit more of exciting of a format than our last one. The problem is it's the same card pool.
Yeah.
So Cyber Angels, as long as they're in a format, will at some point, whether that's in Duel Links where they were immediately the best deck because they just had all the support they could have ever want right off the bat, or if it's like this where they came in, they were decent, but there was already like a big boss around, which is behind Drake, and it was when stuff was hit, other stuff. People weren't really paying that much attention to Cyber Angels because it was just Ursus playing a tier 2 deck. Like, who cares? But now that everything else that people were paying more attention to has gotten the hit, CAs are finally having their time. So I think it proves that as long as this deck exists in a format, it will have its time one way or another for at least a little bit.
Yeah, and I want to mention too with like this format specifically, and the last one a bit too. You see decks start showing up, like Cyber Angels becomes more prevalent. Trap Monsters just showed up. You had Beatdown come out of nowhere, right? You had a Justice with Raging Cat. You have these decks that probably should have been discovered a while ago, but the community is so small that there are decks that are genuinely good, but people are either playing just the meta decks that they know, or they're playing roids. So a lot of things can go, undiscovered for a long time, and then all of a sudden, Trap Monsters wins back-to-back Winnaboxes, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's a very
toxic legacy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Or
exactly.
toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's a very valid point. That's a lot of times how card games are able to grow and keep evolving is with a large enough player base to keep trying things out. See, this is why they were right. We don't test enough things, guys.
It's not.
But it is also why it's important. I think, what Drake was talking about earlier, if the box sells, we get some new players. The more players that we have, especially the more that want to play at a higher level, the better it is for everybody.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
everyone benefits the more players that we have
Yeah.
that are actively trying to solve a format, so to speak. They're actively, looking for the new stuff, looking for different decks and all this and optimizing them.
On that note, Dueling Book needs to enforce the ban list. A lot of people use Dueling Book Ranked as a source of testing. And although it's not the best place to test, right now we have no place to test unless someone, responds to you in the whatever the channel's called in Speed Duel League.
Yeah.
So, Dueling Book, get on that. This is
Please.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Guys, I got an extra leak or two here for you.
Oh
Oh,
god.
good. Okay. What we got?
Golden Homunculus is a secret.
Oh boy.
And then I believe that is Fog King.
And there I see the third one.
Oh, what's the
King,
third
the
one?
water
Chris?
monster?
It's the Dark Fusion.
Escurito?
What Dark Fusion?
Dark Hero Fusion?
The Omni Hero?
Dark Fusion. No, the fusion spell for
Literally Dark Fusion. All of us were like, what's Dark Fusion?
Yeah.
He's like,
Okay,
Dark
well,
Fusion, what do you mean?
That's it.
that's all the
Alright.
secrets.
That's funny.
That's it. That's the entire list. Subscribe.
Alright. We want to give quick thoughts on that.
Yeah, top thoughts on Golden Homunculus, Dark
Golden
Fusion,
Homunculus.
and Fog King.
Wait, why are both Helios and Golden Homunculus secret rare? That seems
Because-
almost redundant.
because-
That's not two.
What?
Because Professor.
Yeah, Amnail got 2.
He got 3 with Macro.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh,
So-
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's questionable to me. Like Helios, okay. It was more like iconic to him in the show. But Golden Homunculus, really? That's sad.
Yeah.
Wait, Fog King stops you from tributing?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. That counters the
Okay.
Cocoon of Ultra Evolution that's already banned.
It also counters
Still coming,
CA.
right?
Yeah, it counters CA just straight up. You normal this?
Oh, I
Yeah,
guess.
they literally cannot do
They just can't.
anything.
They have to run it over and just waste that whole turn.
Well,
Or
how are
play
they
Share
running
the
it
Pain.
over? They can't. They can't
they'll
ritual
play Share the
summon.
Pain.
Yeah,
They
I
play
mean,
Share
Share
the
the
Pain,
Pain
yes.
still lets you combo off that turn. That is true.
Mm-hmm. But
Wait.
hey, no, good to have another answer.
Hold on. How are you
Sure.
using Share the Pain? Share the Pain makes you tribute a monster.
Oh,
Yeah,
Share the
you
Pain
can't.
makes you tribute.
Yeah.
Yo.
They're like, just share the pain. I'm like, you literally
They have to
can't.
play offerings.
Yikes.
Combo girls run.
It actually shuts down the whole deck as it's currently.
Right.
When I meant
constructed.
run it over, I meant like literally normaling Senju or Sonic Bird and just swinging.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
I mean, opponent just has to have a simple back row then.
Yeah.
yeah, no, but like
Or they actually tribute a monster for the Fog King and have it be 1500 or more attack.
no, that is
And then
Yeah.
and then that's
possibility.
it.
Then yeah, that's it. All right.
the CE scoops.
Game 2.
Yeah. It's like, all right, game 2? Yep, okay.
That's actually kind of nutty.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
kind of cool. I like it.
It is. It's still
Yeah,
again
that's-
very questionable choice as a secret rare, but
Definitely
yeah.
secret rare interesting, yeah.
Is, very impactful to the meta. In fact, I think everyone would just be too scared to play Cyber Angels at that point.
It really might
Um,
change the state of speed.
Hey, we did it.
Well, I'm
However-
tired today.
however, It's one of those chicken games though, where it's like, if people aren't playing CAs, then no one's playing Fog King. So then people are playing CAs.
I mean, no one's playing CA now, so I don't know.
Yeah.
People love to
I get-
side for
The
decks.
question is, will the people in this room and Ursus get off CAs or not? That's really the question.
I would love to play a new deck.
I would absolutely.
I wasn't
much
playing
rather-
CA this
I'm
format,
playing
so.
Red Eyes because it's going to be good. Trust.
Yeah, exactly. Red Eyes. There you go. I'm gonna tribute Helios for like a Caius or a Zaborg or something.
Not if I have Fog King on board, you won't.
Got him. We did it. We did it.
Yeah,
So
but you
those
fool. What I will
ones-
do is use my secret rare Macrocosmos to special summon my secret rare Helios, which will then run over your Fog
Alright,
King.
okay, guys, I got
Easy.
it. So I'm gonna keep playing Cyber Angels. I'm gonna activate Fissure.
Oh, now we're
Got him.
coping hard.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'm gonna
like
do it
Fisher
like
would have
I
been a
with my
good
Jujutsu Master.
secret rare for the box. No.
I like that though. That is exciting. That is a good little catch. That it's a rock monster, and why would there be
Yeah.
a random rock monster?
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a good explanation for why there would be a random
Yeah.
rock.
Dark Eye
monster.
might be in.
Dark Gaia. Why couldn't Dark Gaia be the secret rare? Like that, even that would have been nice.
Because we needed room for Fog King, bro.
Obviously, come on.
We all kind of skipped over a golden homunculus because it literally.
Well, I didn't
matters
skip
that
over it.
much.
I talked about it. You made me sad.
Yeah, you want the secrets to be a card that is either good for advanced, retro, or speed duel. And
Yeah.
I think golden homunculus just happens to be a miss on all three.
Yeah. Or at least give us
I'm gonna say
nostalgia.
skill.
Like,
I know Fog
hey,
King has
skill.
seen play in older formats. I know that for a fact, and it should probably see play in speed duel. So
Yes.
of those last three reveals, I guess that one's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Fog King is also level 7.
Yes.
7?
surely.
Tribute a Sangha. It's a 2600 Fog King that your opponent can't tribute now. So it is a play. I'm not saying it's good.
Yeah.
You summon Fog King, you can also not tribute. Fool.
That's fine. You already have Fog King. What else do you need to do in life?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Sevens.
Look, Konami printed. There's such good tribute monsters in the box that they said we need to put Fog King in here.
oh,
to counter
true,
this.
true. We got all the
Like,
good
we can't
cards
have,
in.
we can't have these Caiuses, these common Caiuses, because it didn't get a secret. We can't have them running around.
You can't have all these mega monarchs in the box and then no Fog King to stop them. So there you go.
Yep.
There you
Easy.
go. Mega Monarchs.
Easy.
I like it.
Confirmed.
Surely we're gonna
Basically
have
confirmed.
Yeah.
Basically confirmed.
Okay, so our next segment, it's a new one. It's a fun one. And it has the community involved. We're
Huh.
going to answer a couple community questions.
Hooray.
Is
So
Trap Hole too
these were
good?
questions that people posted on the last podcast. In the comment section. And let's go ahead and what just happened?
Cursive killed us all.
3 days later.
All right. So moving on to our next segment. It's a new one, and it's a fun one. It has the community involved. It's community comments. So a couple people asked questions on our last podcast in the comment section, and we're going to answer them. First up, we've got the famous Odd Toxin Gaming.
Hey.
Asks us, how do you feel about a box that would bring non-character archetypes to the game? What would some of the decks be that you would want to see from a set like this? And he says, personally, I think Glad Beast and Six Samurai definitely have a place in the GX format. What do you all think? So what do you all think?
I definitely want to see it. I think we talked before that I hate us being held to the anime, like, strictly. I think we do need to be able to branch out. I think those are two really good examples, honestly, of archetypes that people would be really excited for. Glad Beast and Six Sam both have plenty of fans. So, yeah, I think it's absolutely something we should do. I'd have to give some thought more as far as if there's a different archetype, because honestly, Six Sam would be one. For me, Lightsworn, too. I don't know if that's a GX thing, but I love Lightsworn, so that's something I'd really like to see as well.
Yeah. No, we need to, I mean, I completely agree with Justice. We really, really need to not be locked into anime archetypes. Like, Glad Beasts and Six Sams are just two, like, beautiful examples of archetypes that I would just love to see in this game, and I'm like, will we ever get them?
Yeah.
Or will Konami be like, no, Yugi didn't play it. We can't have
it's
it.
not real. I think like the idea was that anime stuff was supposed to help sell the product, but I think we are at a point now where you have to see that's not good enough.
Yeah.
We printed roids, we printed e-heroes. Why isn't this flying off the shelves? I don't understand.
Because it's not DM.
Well, those e-heroes did not include Stratos, for one thing.
I mean,
let me start there. But
yeah, but how often did Jaden play Stratos in the anime, huh? Not nearly as often as he played Avion, Burstinatrix, Sparkman, and Clayman, so he's obviously not as important.
Yeah, you got me there. Checkmate.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. One more archetype I'd really love to see, and Cursive will respect this. Battery Man.
Oh, nice.
Super cool to see. Give me the Battery Man. Give me that AA. Give me that industrial strength. Give me all the Battery Man. Let's go.
Circuit, give us it all. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Would be great.
That is a great example.
Yeah.
No, I actually we've talked about this before a little bit. It's too restrictive to say, if a main character didn't play it, it's not getting in the box. No, I think they could go to something where there's still 8 decks, but only 4 of them are character decks, and the rest is all just bonus cards that were released around the GX time. I think that would be great. Lightsworn and Gladiator Beast would probably be 2 of my biggest picks. I think Dark Worlds are really cool. I don't know. If
Those are awesome.
I do love Dark Worlds, yeah.
But I really do like Dark Worlds as well. So I think that's a great idea, and I hope maybe they do move to that one day.
One day. Next
question comes from Professor Sakama, I believe is how you pronounce it. Thanks for the question. If I pronounce your name wrong, let me know. If Speed Duel continues, how many more GX products do you think there will be? And do you think they will revisit DM, like Waking the Dragons or Grand Championship, or move on to Synchros after GX?
I never finished GX. What else happens after this?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Yubel.
Yeah,
After
Yubel.
the Shadow Riders, it's Yubel and the Society of Light. So we could do 2 more.
I personally, 1 or 2. I don't think more than 2 GX products after this. My guess would be 1, because I think mini box is weird. So if we just do, say, another regular size box, you could easily. Hell, even in a mini box, you could probably get Yubel and Society of Light stuff. That's not actually a ton of cards. I think you could get that in 1 box if you really wanted to, even in a mini box. So yeah, my guess would be one more GX product. As far as revisiting, I think that's an interesting question. If you guys want to talk more about GX, I'll wait on the revisiting.
I do want to just quickly mention that it is interesting that Yubel is in a leaked, rumored we'll call it secret rare for the Shadow Box, because there was some speculation that it could just be in the bonus cards where they're just giving us the 3 Yubel forms and not really an entire deck built around it. So it's since like Yubel's not a character for the box, so I think it not being a secret makes that a lot less likely. So it does make a Yubel product in the future a little bit more likely. Just wanted to point that out.
I will say, and I feel like at least in the Speed Duel community, I'm in the minority here. I am totally fine with Yubel never actually physically coming to Speed Duels. I think when Yubel is good, it's actually super annoying to play against.
Just learn how to make them miss the timing. That's how I learned to play against.
Okay, and I actually hate that is actually the best counterplay for Yubel is make it miss is utilize a random game mechanic rather than just cards interacting with cards, and like I hate that. So yeah, I think Yubel is super frustrating to play against when it's actually good. So I'm actually totally fine with it never seeing the light of day in Speed Duels. But I realize I might be in the minority here, but that's fine.
I don't know. I have no attachment to Yubel. It's just Yubel.
Mystic Tomato.
Yeah, like Yubel as a character was fine and like was important, in the show and was important for like Jaden's development and all that. So like I'm cool with all that, but
it was the only Jaden character.
It was actually the only Jaden character.
But like the only reason I like Yubel is because it caused Jaden to develop.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
It's not because of Yubel. It's because look at Jaden.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Yeah.
I do think it's an interesting question if we're going to revisit DM at all. I was going to say no, like following the Duel Links example if they always move forward, but then Duel Links actually put DSOD in later on, so which is technically DM but isn't. I don't know what that counts as actually now that I say it. Yeah, because it's all the DM characters, but it's obviously later on. So,
but I think it would be nice to revisit DM, at least in my opinion. I'd love to see like the legendary dragons have like their own little like mini box.
Yeah.
Because like you said, maybe we get like one more GX if they wanted to do 2 more boxes. Maybe you could have like the mini box be, legendary dragons, then GX, and then we just start throwing synchro summons everywhere and tuners.
I think the reason to do that would be, hey, we really want to sell a box really well. So let's build a box around Dark Magician and Blue Eyes and do good Dark Magician support cards, good Blue Eyes support cards.
Literally support the archetypes. Crazy concept.
What?
I know.
Yeah. I could see it. I could see it for that. I don't know if they will, because again, like if they follow the Duel Links example, Duel Links was kind of always moving forward. If I remember correctly, I don't remember Duel Links ever going backwards in that sense.
Well, they did constantly introduce new characters from like older worlds. So like Supreme King wasn't introduced in Duel Links until well after 5Ds was in the game.
All right. I honestly couldn't remember off the top of my head. So if that's the case, then yeah, maybe. Then so for sure I could see it happening.
It's just weird because we have no precedent right now, right? So it's just
that kind of ties in with the moving away from character boxes, where it would seem very odd if it's like, oh hey, this is a GX set, and it's like, okay, but why is Tristan in here, or another Yugi deck, or Duke Devlin or whatever? Like, why are they in here? You could just come up with a name that isn't tied to an anime, a specific.
It's the Speed Duel stuff we forgot about box.
Yes. Or it doesn't have to be a box. You could just make like the starter decks like we had before. I never had any issues with just the starter decks at all.
Yep. Me either.
Although they were pure character driven, so like there is that, but
but they weren't.
Give us Zoma.
They weren't 8 characters at once. They were like 2 roughly, 2 or 3.
Yeah,
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's like really good stuff, right? Like if it's Dark Magician and Blue Eyes, then that's going to be enough reason alone for anything to sell, right?
Right.
If it's like Secret Rare Magician's Navigation, that'll sell some product.
Oh yeah.
But like it can't be bad cards like the secrets most of the secrets we saw leaked today.
Dark Magic Tech upgraded to Secret Rare.
No, what?
Let's go.
First String of Destruction, Secret.
Yeah.
Yay.
Dragon Secret.
Well, that'll sell product to one person.
True.
Yeah,
Because of Blue Eye, you have to buy all 1,000 boxes.
Yeah, I would have to support the entire community.
Yes. Yeah, but Blue Eye's alternate dragon secret,
yeah.
that would work.
yeah, there you go.
So stuff
Yeah,
like
honestly,
that.
as long as they don't go back to booster boxes where 90% of it is trash, then they can do it however they want to do. Do boxes,
OCG
starter
vanillas.
decks, whatever.
CGs.
Yeah, as long as you don't go back to, hey, here's a booster box. 3 cards in it are good. Enjoy. You know, like however they want to do it is fine. But
Yeah, agreed. All right.
Yeah, no. So my take on that is I want to get to GX as quickly as possible.
5Ds.
You mean
I don't know what
5Ds?
Konami's plan is, but I would love for there to only be one more GX set.
Yeah. Agreed.
Just one more GX set.
Yeah.
Cram everything you're missing into that one. Make it good stuff, and then around this time next year, we're in GX. We're summoning Seacrows. We're summoning Stardust Dragon. Let us do it.
You're
I
over
wanna
too,
summon
Drake.
Stardust Dragon.
Black winged dragon.
Winged, yes.
Yes, Black Wings, absolutely.
But
Let me synchro with
Also
some
that,
Black Wing
yes.
tuners.
You can say cool things like "Let's rev it up."
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
it's so cool.
Good job,
This is the
Master.
coolest thing I've ever heard. Oh my god, no, I agree. I agree. The sooner we get to 5D is probably the better. Again, I really do think one box or mini box covers Yubel / Society of Light / whatever else you want to do. I don't think there's a ton left in GX that we really need to cover, unless they actually go to, as we said, more archetype driven stuff and less anime driven stuff. And then if they want to give us a box with, you know, Gladiator Beast and 6 Salmon Lights Warren and all that stuff, then yeah, we can stay in GX a little longer. I'm cool.
Very
Yeah.
Totally
good.
fine with me. But
Yep.
yeah. That really depends on how they want to do that. Okay, moving on. Great, go.
It's time.
Oh, hey.
For it's time.
Nice.
Yeah. America's favorite game show.
Before we move on, I do
Everyone
just want to say one
Okay.
more time thank you to the people that submitted questions. It is fun. Hopefully, you guys watching enjoyed it, and yeah, feel free to submit your own questions in the comments. And
Yeah, if you want your
you might
question
be featured in
answered,
the future
all you have to
episode.
do, comment on this video, and then say in the comment that it is for the next podcast.
Yeah.
And we'll answer it there instead of answering it in the comments.
Yes, exactly.
Sure.
Okay, it's time.
So you can ask me something stupid like, Terramaster, why are you so bad? You keep getting second place, never first place? Yeah.
But say it's for the podcast.
During the next podcast, I would like Terramaster to answer for his badness.
All right, I was wrong. It wasn't time. Now it's time.
Now it's time.
Or it's time. Who would like to start this off?
I'll take it if nobody else wants it.
All right.
Okay. This is gonna be a bit of a controversial take, so I'm gonna explain it after I say it. It's time to errata Joey. Not because I think I'm just gonna attack is broken, because it's not, but because especially right now we are in a part where we need battle traps. They're also just kind of a fundamental way of Yu-Gi-Oh being played, especially, you know, older Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, maybe not advanced format today, but like especially older Yu-Gi-Oh, which is, you know, what we're kind of emulating here. Battle traps mattered. And we don't even have like a ton of them. It's not like we have Sakuretsu Armor, Deep Prism, whatever. We don't even have a ton of good choices. But we need things like Wall of D, because something we've talked about in the past, and I think we kind of alluded to it earlier, and I'm going to bring it back now. It is almost impossible to draw up a deck that effectively combats both Beatdown and Cyber Angels, right? Because like, well, one of your best answers against Cyber Angels? Wall of Disruption. Oh, good. It's a dead card against Joey. Right? And like, I'm not saying that is never okay, but it's not okay in an almost 2-deck format. Where it's like, okay, there's basically 2 decks, maybe 3 if we count Trap Monsters. But if we call like the 2 decks Cyber Angels and Joey, and then it's like, okay, well, you just can't build for both of them, and like those are the 2 decks. Like that's kind of bad. I don't know exactly what the errata would be. We've kind of discussed it a little bit, you know, in the past, but I do think that just, yeah, you know, either you better have multiple battle traps if you want one of them to work. Basically, just it's a free +1 each turn if you think about it. All right, you activate your card. I negate it. Go away. I plussed for nothing. I just got rid of one of your cards
You're
for free.
getting the +1 in the battle phase, right? Because
Yeah.
you're killing their monster.
Well, then it's a +2. I'm saying it's a +1 of just they activate their card, you negate it, and send it to the graveyard for free. So that's -1 for them. So it's +1 for you. +2 if you also destroyed a monster.
Yeah.
And that's just for free. That's for no cost at all. So I actually don't love that. Yeah, as I said, it doesn't break the rules of the game in a fun way. It breaks the rules of the game in a really boring but also really annoying way.
Yep.
So
Because that's what skills are for. They're for breaking the game in a fun way.
Right, exactly.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, read Machine Yugioh Ascension.
What was Cursive working on this whole time? Oh, I can't read that. There's way too much light on that.
Come on.
100 boost.
Yeah, that was actually the part that I have a problem with.
You cut that boost in half.
Yeah, if we just made it a 50-point boost, it would be fine. But 100 is too much. That's really the main issue here.
Problem solved.
To get over the attack point ties,
There you go.
one attack point.
Oh,
Yeah, 1 attack point.
Surely the math will be fine.
It's totally how good that trap negation is. How it's not once per duel or twice per duel.
Right. Just once per
It's
turn.
just
1801 attack monster kills Zoma.
And it's once
Does
per
Zoma
turn,
still
by the way,
win?
not even once per turn during your turn. Like, it's just once per turn. So, like, your opponent can't even do anything in their own battle phase because you negate that too. So yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it.
Yeah. What about what's your it's not time?
What it's not time for, funny enough, is almost the opposite of what we were just doing. It is not time to spam large lists of what you think 5D's decks are going to look like in Speed Duel because we haven't even gotten Duelists of Shadows yet. Stop it.
Thank you. Every
Right.
day we've
Not
been
time.
having to read this for the last week in
Not
the
time yet.
Discord.
Okay.
It's not time yet.
Not time yet. Yeah.
Correct.
That will be a time.
There will be a time for it. It is not now.
Yeah, it's
All right.
funny. I usually say let the kids have fun, but this time I gotta agree.
Yeah.
Calm down. That's at least a year away. Chill. All right. I'll go next. It's time to play Cyber Angels. Why? Because they're the best deck right now, and why? Another reason is that if you don't play now, you might not get the chance to play them when they're at their best ever again.
Yeah.
So
Walking.
yeah, exactly. You've got a month,
Yeah.
right? You've got a month. Do what Ursus has been doing for the past year, right? Play CAs, learn it, love it, have fun with it, because it'll probably be gone in a month, and if not a month, then whenever the next limited list update hits. So, it's time now because it might not be later.
Yeah.
And what it's not time for, unfortunately, we had some copium about this a couple months ago, but it's definitely not time for roids. Stop it. It's not a good deck. It has a bad matchup against any other good deck, pretty much. Just because of the way every other deck has evolved, pretty much. It has a horrible matchup against Cyber Angels. So just look, Roids, when Midterm was about to come out, one of the points I made was Roids has never been good in TCG. Never been good as a full deck. Never been playable, right? The original Roids.
Mm.
And that's kind of what we got. And to nobody's surprise, once everything's settled, it still sucks. So yeah.
That's
Stop with
Roid. Necroroid. Shaman.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, you don't have to pick on roids that hard. Okay?
I do.
Um,
Stop. It's
no, they're
a
totally-
useless
they're
deck
totally-
from a useless character. Stop
They're
it.
totally bad right now.
That's
Um,
Zane's little brother.
I think they had their moment because with triple Book of Moon, triple Floodgate. By the way, that's not a legal deck anymore.
Hooray.
You could play a cool Droid control deck. And a
Cool.
good skill to play with that was the Roid skill. But
That's so cool.
So cool.
no, now I don't think there's any reason to play Roids. Period.
All right. Cursive, you want to go next?
No, let Drake go. I'm still trying to think.
Okay.
All right, making them on the fly. Okay, my it's time is I'm gonna have to explain this one because I'm gonna sound crazy at first, but it's to separate your creative mind and your logical mind. And yeah, I already sound crazy. Look at Tara's face. He's leaving. He's like,
What's
I'm
the
done with this
difference?
Nope, done.
podcast. No, okay. But no, to explain what that means is like when you're building a deck, let your creative mind do all of the thinking. Your logical mind is going to want to say, no, we shouldn't be playing this combo. It takes way too many cards. We shouldn't be playing that card. That tech card's never going to come up. No, just let your creative mind do its thing. Make this wild and weird deck list. Okay? Now when you go to playtest the deck, before taking it to an event, you're playtesting with randoms or your friends, whatever. Now, stop thinking with your creative brain at all. Only think with your logical brain, and when something isn't working, your creative brain is going to want to hold on to that. But it's so cool. No, it doesn't. It didn't work. Cut it. Change the skill, or cut the tech card, or don't play the 7-card combo. Whatever. But anyway, by splitting these two ways of thinking up, you're going to find more tech cards, more different skills, more combos, and you're going to enter less tournaments with bad combos and bad tech cards and bad skills. Because your mind can only focus on one thing well at a time. So don't mix them, and you're gonna like your results. With that in mind, my it's not time is Magic Drain. This card is not good, and
It's great.
I've said it. No, it's not time. I've said this before that this card is not good because the first reason I would always come up with, well, it's like, well, your opponent will just pitch a spell to resolve the spell they actually wanted to play. Well, that's a simple way of saying it, and that holds true. If you're trying to negate a ritual spell, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, sure, you can negate that. No, they're just going to send their other spell to the graveyard and combo off, and now they're comboing off with fear of one less back row. So you actually sort of helped them. But to go a little deeper into that of why Magic Drain is bad. So there's basically two scenarios where you would think Magic Drain could be good. The first one is my opponent runs a lot of spells. This card says negate spells. Well, if they run a lot of spells, that means they're going to have spells to pitch when you activate it. Okay, so it's not actually good there. The second scenario is my opponent doesn't run a lot of spells. They're not going to be able to pay the cost. Oh, that's all good in theory until you draw a Magic Drain and they don't draw any spells and you just have a blank. So in either scenario where they're a spell heavy deck or a spell light deck, the card is bad in both situations, and that is just a bad card. I've just explained what a bad card is. So it is not time for Magic Drain.
Yeah, just play Spell Canceller instead.
Or Magic Jammer.
Or Magic. Yeah.
I mean, play anything else.
Magic Jammer. All right, we solved it.
Yep. Cool. Solved. All right, Cursive, have you figured it out?
Cursive is the person at the dinner table where like everyone, like the server's like asking for his order. He's like, "Hold on, everyone else order. I'll figure it out. You guys will order first."
That's exactly how I feel right now.
Same. Can I just have the same?
Actually, that sounds good. Yeah.
That's what he's having.
I can tell you what it's not time for. So let's start there. It is definitely not time to revisit old formats because I've been playing in the Dragon Caller format tournament, and it is horrible. Speed Duels has such a bad legacy, man. Like, it's so skillless. The Dragons versus Amazonas, there's something. But then you have Mirrors, and it's just whoever has Vigilance first. Why did Matt print this? The only skillful format, I think, in Speed Duels history, besides Battle City, is like Attack from the Deep, and that's still garbage. It's not time. What it is time
I
for?
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I just want to real quick be like, please. Every time I see a tournament announcement for an a legacy speed duel format, I cringe. A part of me dies
It's so
inside.
bizarre to me. We have like 50 cards right now. Why are we going back to an older format with fewer
Right,
cards?
right.
It's just like
We need more cards, not less.
it's so
Stop
weird.
going in the opposite direction. Okay.
Nostalgia is a powerful thing, man.
It is. It truly is.
Yeah.
What it's time for. I don't have a good answer to this, so I'm just gonna say maybe for me to start making content again. That's it.
Okay.
Ah,
I'm subscribed, and
But he didn't say for what.
got him. Let's go. Well played.
I'm sub to your channel, and my feed is just empty. It's just blank.
I'm your only subscription.
I'm only subscribed to Cursive.
He literally just made a Cursive fan account.
Beautiful.
That's
I
all it
love
is.
The name is Cursive Fan 113478944364. Yep, there you go. That's my random number string.
All right.
All right. Yeah, that's awesome. We got breaking news for the third time in the podcast.
That was
We
good.
got,
Yeah,
Yeah, surely there won't be another one because that's all 24 secrets.
yeah, that's actually all of it.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
everything else would have to be some random like common leaks of like, someone had a display box to advertise and they dropped it and it broke apart or something.
And all the packs somehow, like opened up, the plastic came off, all the cards fell out.
The shrink wrap came off. People at the YCS were able to just quickly spam pictures before someone cleaned it up. All that happened.
Yep.
Cool.
This is very real.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Drake, do we have anything else? I don't remember now.
That was our final segment.
All right, that's good. Well, that's fine. We've only been recording for like 4 hours now, so I feel like
Right.
it's reasonable.
Thank God.
Approximately,
guys.
give or take.
I guess before we cut it,
on Thursday.
anyone have any final thoughts they would like to provide before we sign off?
Ale
I'd like-
Blood, let's go.
I'd like to
I actually
reiterate-
do like Ale Blood. So sorry, I like Ale Blood. Ale
There you
Blood is
go.
cool.
See?
Ill blood is like-
What was that, Cursive?
I would just like to reiterate, please purchase the Duelists of Shadows
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
box. Please.
Yeah.
This community needs you. Like starving children need you.
Similarly, yeah.
Similarly, I just want to say Ale Blood is in the box. So I mean, what else?
In case you haven't heard.
In case you haven't heard, yeah. It's zombies, guys. Zombies are cool. Come on.
Oh, I'm doing something with Helios. Something. I don't know what.
There you go.
Tributing it, surely, but
Ale Blood. Oh my god.
It's insane.
We already built the first phase.
yes, the Macrocosmos Ill Blood deck.
Perfect. First, you banish your zombies, and then you summon Ill Blood, and then you're like, wait.
Then you
on.
activate Zero from a different
Double
dimension.
Cyclone the Cosmos, because you don't want that anymore.
No, your graveyard is set up prior to activating Macrocosmos.
Uh-huh.
Think about it. Just
See, remember, Emergency Provisions was a Jaden card, right? So maybe that's in there, and then you Emergency Provisions a Macrocosmos after summoning your Helios, and then you summon your Ill Blood to get back your zombie.
They actually plan on leaving Ill Blood as a vanilla. That's why we don't care if they're banished, because we're going to pair it with Order to Charge.
Ooh,
So
that's good.
Nice.
No, Gemini Spark. It's basically confirmed. We got a Gemini monster.
yes, surely.
Could have a Gemini Spark. Unlikely. Possible, though.
Unlikely.
We also have like a Mirror Force that works only if you have a normal monster out.
Yeah, amazing. Very, very good. Yeah.
It's like a curse. All right.
Do we have Geminis?
Oh,
We
yeah.
already have a Gemini.
I know.
Ancient
That's-
Gear Knight.
Yep, we do.
that was-
There. I will say for me, unless the entirety of like the Red Eye support in the box is Red Eye's Darkness Dragon and some like bad skill version of Darkness Metal, whatever that is, I'm gonna at least be testing the hell out of Red Eyes and hopefully making it work. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed for that one. If there's like one deck that I want to see, like personally for me, to be able to like play at a high level out of this box, that's the one. So I am hoping.
Red Eyes are heroes. Let's go, baby.
Dark Gaia, it's coming. And they think I'm going to use Jujitsu Master to make it.
Yeah,
Dude, I've got Valkyrion.
we got
okay?
Valkyrie.
We got Valkyria and Raviel nerds.
That's right.
7,500. What do you
Got
telling us?
Landmark. Damn, we found what I'm summoning with Helios.
Alrighty, yeah. So let's end there. If you managed to get through all 72 hours of this podcast episode, just, you know what? I was gonna say something else, but just comment on Drake's cat attacking the moth. Put that something about that in the comments, please. Let us know that you got all the way to the end. But yeah, that will do it for us today. And of course, feel free to, as we said, leave comments for the next podcast. Just make sure to mark those as comments for the podcast so we don't just answer them in the comments and then, lose out on that. But yeah, that will do it for us today. We hope you all enjoyed. But until next time, my friends, as always, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Good luck in all of your games. And we will see you soon.